Hello, my name is Mr. Ramirez, and I will talk about the recycling. First, I will talk about what is the recycling. Raw recycling is a key component in contemporary waste reduction and is the third component of the three R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Recyclable materials are many and include all papers and cardboards, glass, ferrous and non-ferrous metals, some plastics, fabrics, and textiles, woods, and electronic components. In a few words, it's all. I will recycle all, and I gave you the 5 reasons to recycle and benefits for the world. Number one is recycling prevents garbage from ending up in the trash can. According to the Environment Protection Agency in the US, 35% of trash can be prevented from ending up in landfills and incinerators through recycling and composting. In California, 44% of waste has been prevented from going to the landfill. It's a good start, but there is still a lot of room for improvement. It is important to keep as much materials as possible out of landfills because everything we produce is made with valuable and limited resources. We have to try to get back as much as we can to use it again. Number two, recycling reduces the need to use new raw materials. Extracted raw materials from the environment is expensive. It also consumes a lot of water and energy. When we recycle, we extract less, and that conserves many of our valuable natural resources, such as trees, water, oil, and metals. For the more we recycle, the more we protect our resources. Number three, recycling conserves energy. Recycling saves a lot of energy. Each year, recyclers across the country save the same amount of energy it would take to power 14 million homes for an entire year. That's the equivalent of turning off the power of 1 in 10 homes for an entire year. Number four, recycling creates jobs. In the US, in the USA, recycling and reuse activities generate 700,000 jobs and produce 36 billion a year in wages of dollars. American dollars. Recycling is not only good for the environment but also for the economy. Number five, recycling reduces pollution. The process of recycling raw materials can produce a lot of repulsion, and since the more you recycle, the less you extract. Recycling also means less pollution, and that's not all. The more we recycle, the less material we send to landfills. The decomposition of material in landfills usually produces emissions of methane and greenhouse gas 35 times more potent than carbon dioxide. So the more we avoid it, better. And I will talk about the recycling process. But the recycling process varies depending of the type of material you want to recover. Also, it always begin with for separation and classifications to facilitate the rest of the task. Uh, for example, the paper and the cardboards. This material is mixed with water in a machine called a pulper, along with additives to bleach and gives resistance to the material all unwanted elements, for example, staples, ink, and etc. And removed in the past is formed. This past is pulled through a sieve and passed through drying coils until recycled paper is obtained. In for other, it's the recycled plastics. The plastic is washed, chopped and washed again. It is separated by colors and quality to be used as a raw materials by injection or extraction. It can also be recycled by chemical process to obtain plastic molecules that are reused as raw materials. Other is the glass recycling process. It can be recycled eternally without losing properties. It is separated by colors, cleaned, and crushed. The result is melted and a series of materials or minerals elements are added with which new products can be made. Other is the clothing and footwear. If it can be used again, clothes and shoes are worn regularly. Garments that cannot be reused as are frayed to become the other products such blankets, rugs, or soundproofing materials. If this is also not possible, they are taken to an incriminator so that it can be used as fuel to generate energy. The in this form, it's all the materials can recycle, but only mention this. This, in summary, the recycling process is of the different waste a fundamental task in which you can do or collaborate. For other part, I will talk the countries of the most recycling in the world. In the first place, uh, with Switzerland. In the 80s, the country had serious pollution problems. The rivers were full of nitrates and phosphates, and the soil by heavy metals. They chose to take drastic measures, and they have working in this. Recycling is mandatory, and if fines are not made, they amount to 10,000 euros. Sorting must be done thoroughly, therefore, most the garbage is recycled. In Switzerland, it is recycled 93% of glass, 91% of aluminum, and 83 PET bottles. The measures they took were successful. Not only do they help to take care of the environment, they also translate into economic and energy saving. In the second place are we Austria. The recycling is rate is 63% in the region of Styria. It has become a world leader in waste management and recycling. Thousands of specialists travel to the state to learn the policies and the actions they undertake this recycling. And the third place is Germany. This country managed to recycle 62% of all the garbage it generates. They began with the disuse of plastic bags and followed by measures of waste classification, environmental education from early age, and social awareness. An example for the common intent of German society is the supermarket without packing. For the fourth place is Belgium. Belgium, its the recycling rate is 58%. There are even regions where the recycling rate is 75%. Waste is applied to be reused, recycled, and or composted. In the fifth place, I have the Netherlands. The recycling rate is 51 51%, and they have the best environmental policies in the world. In addition to recycling, they are leaders in water care and energy use. Thank you for your attention, teacher.